Even out here, you don't have to go very far for reminders of the differentness of this time. Right down these stairs here is this beautiful little overlook that I'll often come out to and study and talk out sermons and things of that sort. And I was actually planning on wanting to go down there today. Obviously, that's not the case. It's a reminder that no matter where we go, no matter what we do, we can't get away from the time that we are in. Psalm 35 is one that for most of the psalm feels a bit overwhelming. This prayer of deliverance from enemies. Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and rise up to help me. Draw the spear and the javelin against my pursuers. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Let them be put to shame and dishonor who seek after my life. Let them be turned back and confounded who devise evil against me. Let them be like chaff against the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them on. Let their way be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. For without cause they hid their net for me. Without cause they dug a pit for me. Let ruin come on them unawares, and let the net that they hid ensnare them. Let them fall into it to their ruin. Then my soul shall rejoice in the Lord, exulting in his deliverance. And all my bones shall say, O Lord, who is like you? You deliver the weak from those who are too strong for them, the weak and the needy from those who despoil them. Then my soul shall rejoice in the Lord, exulting in his deliverance. And all my bones shall say, O Lord, who is like you? You deliver the weak. I just read that, didn't I? Yeah. Verse 11, malicious witnesses rise up. They ask me about things I do not know. They repay me evil for good. My soul is forlorn. But as for me, when they were sick, I wore sackcloth. I afflicted myself with fasting. I prayed with my head bowed, as though grieved for a friend or for a brother. I went about as one who laments for a mother, bowed down and in mourning. But at my stumbling they gathered in glee. They gathered together against me. Ruffians whom I did not know tore at me without ceasing. They impiously mocked more and more, gnashing at me with their teeth. How long, O Lord, will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages, my life from the lions. And I will thank you in the great congregation. In the mighty throng I will praise you. Do not let treacherous enemies rejoice over me. Those who hate me without cause wink the eye. For they do not speak peace, but they conceive deceitful words against those who are quiet in the land. They open their mouths against me and they say, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. You have seen, O Lord, do not be silent. O Lord, don't be far from me. Wake up, bestir yourself for my defense, for my cause, my God and my Lord. Vindicate me, O Lord, my God, according to your righteousness. Do not let them rejoice over me. Do not let them say to themselves, Aha, we have our heart's desire. Do not let them say, we have swallowed you up. Let those who rejoice at my calamity be put to shame and confusion. Let those who exalt themselves against me be clothed with shame and dishonor. Let those who desire my vindication shout for joy and be glad and say evermore, Great is the Lord, who delights in the welfare of his servant. Then my tongue shall tell of your righteousness and of your praise all day long. Verse 27 is the one that Alicia Crosby focuses on for her poem today. Shout for joy. Shout for joy and be glad. Celebrate our triumph. And when people ask why and question your rejoicing, look them square in the face and tell them it's because I am. I am is a whole-ass statement or the beginning of something more. The name by which God called themselves in days of old in a personal state of being. Whether whispered or exclaimed with fervor, those three letters speak volumes. Let these words fill your mouth. Glide over their ink with your fingers. Listen to them on a loop. Take them in with your eyes. Breathe them in and out, because your being is a miracle. You are here. You have endured. You have made it to today, both testament and testimony of God's loving kindness and mercy, and of your resolve and power. That psalm is one that feels pretty heavy, most of it. A lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of hurt, a lot of frustration, all that's there, a lot of fear. And yet, in between, there are those points of lifting up. Great is the Lord who delights in the welfare of the Lord's servant. And then, as Miss Crosby shares, she goes back to the words that were spoken to Moses as Moses was getting ready to follow, reluctantly, God back to Egypt. When Moses asked, "Who should I tell them sent me?" God simply said out of the burning bush, "Tell them I am sent you." Those 3 letters in those 2 words, I am, speak volumes. They speak volumes that in the midst of times that we can't get away from the reminders of the time that we are living in, when there's things that we want to do, such as I wanted to go down there, I'll be honest, I kind of had a few little evil thoughts this morning saying, well, no one's going to know. But I didn't. But in the midst, we're here today, and then tomorrow and the day after. And we continue to work for doing justice in this world and being the people that God calls us to be. In the midst of trials and temptations, we can say with the psalmist and we can say with Miss Crosby, we are here. We have endured. We've made it to today. Testament and testimony of God's loving kindness and mercy, and of our resolve and power. Grace and peace be with you today.